Hi everyone, welcome back to Design Craft channel. Today we're going to crochet the fire flower and the ice flower from Super Mario. These two iconic power-up flowers use the same crochet pattern, with the only difference being the yarn colors. Once you've learned the pattern, you can easily make both versions or even create your own custom color combinations. They're quick, fun to crochet, and make adorable decorations, keychains, or additions to your growing Super Mario collection. As we continue our Super Mario crochet series, there will be many more characters and power-ups coming soon, so don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. Now let's gather our materials and start crocheting the fire flower and ice flower together. Here I'm using 4-ply cotton yarn, a 2.5mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle for sewing, a stuffing tool to help fill the pieces, and a piece of wire to support and hold the flower stem upright. When everything is ready, let's begin with the flower center. Pick up the white yarn and make 5 chains. For round 1, start with a chain. Then insert your hook into the back bump of the second chain from the hook and work 1 increase, which means placing 2 single crochets into the same stitch. You can place a stitch marker in the first stitch to help keep track of the beginning of the round. Continue by working 1 single crochet into each of the next 3 back bumps of the chain. When you reach the last chain, work 3 single crochets all into the same stitch. Now you'll be working along the opposite side of the foundation chain. Insert your hook under both loops and work 4 single crochets until you reach the end. Then make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join and finish the round. You should have a total of 12 stitches at the end of round 1. For round 2, start with 1 chain, work 2 increases, Then crochet 3 single crochets. Next, work 3 increases. Followed by another 3 single crochets. In the last stitch, work 1 increase. Finish the round by making a slip stitch into the first stitch. You should have a total of 18 stitches at the end of round 2. For round 3, start with 1 chain and work 1 single crochet in every stitch around. When you reach the end of the round, switch to the light blue yarn and use it to make the final slip stitch into the first stitch. This prepares the color change for the next round. You should have a total of 18 stitches at the end of round 3. Next, we'll crochet the first petal round. You can cut off the white yarn and continue using the light blue yarn. Start with 1 chain, then work this entire round into the front loops only. Crochet 1 slip stitch in each front loop around. When you reach the end, make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join and finish the round. You'll still have a total of 18 stitches at the end of this round. For round 5, start with 1 chain and work this round into the back loops only. Work 1/2 double crochet increase in each of the next 2 stitches. Then make 1 chain and work one slip stitch into the next stitch. Repeat the same sequence around the round. Continue until you have completed a total of 6 petals in this round. When you've finished, cut the yarn and use a yarn needle to weave in and hide the yarn tail neatly. Here, you've completed one piece. Now, crochet another identical piece by following the same pattern. Next, we'll crochet the second layer of petals. Pick up the blue yarn and insert your hook into the back loop of round 4. Yarn over and pull through, then make a chain to secure. Then work one slip stitch in each back loop around. When you reach the end of the round, make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. You should still have a total of 18 stitches. For round 5A, start with one chain, then work this round into the front loops only. Crochet one single crochet, followed by one increase, and repeat this sequence 9 times around. Make a slip stitch into the first stitch to end the round. By the end of round 5A, you should have a total of 27 stitches. For round 6A, start with 2 chains, then work double crochet increase into each of the next 2 stitches. Make 2 chains, then work one slip stitch into the next stitch. This completes one petal. Repeat this sequence 9 times around to create all 9 petals. When you've finished, cut the yarn and weave in the yarn tail neatly. The front flower piece is now complete. Next, embroider the eyes on round 1. Leave a space of 2 to 3 stitches between the 2 eyes, or adjust the spacing to achieve your desired look. Next, we crochet the stem, pick green yarn and make a knot in the magic ring. Then work 5 single crochets into it. When done, pull the yarn tail tight to close the ring. Then make a slip stitch into the first stitch to end the round as usual. For round 1 to round 14, start with a chain, then work 5 single crochets, and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to end each round. Next, for round 15, start with a chain, then work an increase in every stitch around. When finished, cut the yarn and pull through. Last, make an invisible slip stitch. To make the invisible slip stitch, insert the yarn through the second stitch. Then insert it back into the last stitch from the top of the stitch. Remember to leave enough yarn for joining later. And here the stem is done. Next, we crochet the leaf. Pick green yarn, start with a foundation chain of 10, For round 1, skip the first chain, insert your hook into the back bump of the second chain, and work 1 slip stitch. Place a stitch marker in this first stitch to help you keep track. Then continue along the chain as follows. Work 1 single crochet, one half double crochet, two double crochets, one triple crochet, one double crochet, and one half double crochet. In the last chain, work 4 single crochets, all into the same stitch. Now you will reach the other side of the foundation chain. Turn slightly and insert your hook into both loops of each chain as you continue on the opposite side. Work 1 half double crochet, one double crochet, one triple crochet, and 2 double crochets. Then work 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. Finally, slip stitch into the chain where you made the first slip stitch to close the round. Cut the yarn and pull through. Use an invisible join to finish neatly by threading the yarn into the first stitch, then securing it back into the last stitch from the top. Weave in the yarn tail neatly to complete the leaf. Work 2 pieces with this pattern. Next, we can assemble everything together. First, measure the length of wire needed for the flower. Insert the wire into the center back part of the flower. Then join both flower pieces together. Use the light blue yarn tail to weave through the first layer of petals so you can align everything correctly. Before fully closing the hole, remember to stuff the flower with polyester fiber filling. Use pliers to bend the end of the wire to avoid any sharp edges. Next, insert the wire into the stem. Secure the stem to the bottom of the flower. Once attached, you can pose and shape the stem as desired. Finally, attach both leaves to the side of the stem around round 6. And that's it! Your Super Mario Fire Flower and Ice Flower are now complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and had fun crocheting along with me. Since both flowers use the same pattern with different colors, feel free to experiment with your own color combinations and make a unique version. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crocheting!